I never thought I'd be posting on here. But I'm shaking, and I need to get this out. Before my husband gets home from his shift, last week, I finally gave permission to my husband's best friend, Mark, and he started. I know how terrible that sounds, but it isn't what you think. And what he actually uncovered has completely shattered my entire reality. My husband David and I have been married for 4 years, living a pretty standard suburban life in Ohio. David is a forensic accountant, a guy who obsesses over spreadsheets and details, which is why his recent behavior was so alarming. For the last 6 months, he became a ghost in our own home, locking himself in his home office, whispering into his phone, and draining our joint savings, account under the guise of a high-yield crypto investment. He wouldn't let me see. Whenever I pressed him, he'd gaslight me, saying I was being paranoid and that he was doing this for our future. Desperate and feeling entirely alone, I turned to Mark, David's closest friend since their college days at Ohio State. Mark is a private investigator, and when I broke down crying to him at a local diner, begging him to look into David's secret bank feeds, he initially refused out of loyalty. But when I showed him the forged signatures on our mortgage refinancing documents, Mark looked terrified. That was the moment I told him to do whatever it took, giving him full permission to breach David's digital life and track his movements. Mark started his investigation that very night, and the initial updates confirmed my worst fears. He tracked David to a secluded, upscale townhouse downtown 3 nights a week, a place registered to a woman named Elena. I was numb, grieving the death of my marriage and assuming David was just another cliché. Husband having an affair. But 2 days ago, Mark called me at midnight, his voice trembling, telling me to meet him in his car down the street from our house. When I got in, he didn't show me photos of an affair. Instead, he handed me a tablet displaying David's encrypted financial ledgers. David wasn't spending money on a mistress. He was transferring massive sums of money from a shell corporation into Elena's accounts because Elena wasn't his lover. She was his biological sister, a sister David had told me died in a car crash 10 years ago. My head was spinning, but the twist got deeper and far more terrifying. Mark explained that Elena wasn't hiding from the world. She was hiding from David. Through hacked emails, Mark discovered that David had spent the last decade orchestrating a massive fraud scheme, stealing his sister's inheritance, faking her death legally to claim her life insurance, and keeping her functionally trapped in that townhouse by threatening to expose her own past legal troubles if she ever stepped forward. The crypto investment was a lie to cover the legal hush money and laundering fees, but the absolute final blow landed just an hour ago when Mark sent me one.